Whenever the Bad Batch started, I always had this question of how would the clones be phased out? Because they weren't immediately phased out as, I would assume, and as many would assume. You would think that the stormtroopers would come in very quickly after the Empire was formed, but no, clones are still being used throughout the Bad Batch currently, and I wonder how are they going to get phased out, because I have my own speculations which could come true, but I don't know. The theory that I have is that the inhibitor chips have a larger purpose than what they were used for during Order 66, which is, I think the inhibitor chips could be used to kill off the clones. They're going to send some electric field in your brain, killing all the clones. Like, with a flick of a switch, all the clones could be killed, because why else would these episodes from the Clone Wars and Bad Batch have clones removing the chips? Why would that be important? Especially for the Bad Batch, where their inhibitor chips weren't that, used for. And during the episode where they got the chips removed, Rex was like, oh, you have to get them removed, but why? They didn't, only Wrecker's chip had to get removed. None of their chips had to, and I questioned why. I mean, they're fine, but maybe there's a larger purpose, foreshadowing. But that theory was squashed when the Obi-Wan Kenobi show came out, because in the second episode there was a clone. That show takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, so my theory was just squashed then and there. But something else that I kind of theorizing now is that could the Empire be killing off the clones slowly? Like, as time goes on, could the Empire be killing them? Because in the trailer for Season 2 of The Bad Batch, you see the clones allegedly fighting droids, like the battle droids, and I wonder if they're going to be sending them to these familiar locations. And this is not something that I came up with, other people have come up with this months ago, which is the clones are going to be, killed off by the battle droids in these separatist occupations, just to give a more familiar feel, because the clones throughout the Bad Batch are real, they're waking up, sort of. The inhibitor chips aren't really working as effectively anymore, which is really interesting. Like, how long do these chips go on for? Like, do they go on forever, or a certain amount of time? Or is each clone different with that? Like, these questions aren't really going to be answered, I don't think, but I think the general consensus is that it's going to be, they're slowly wearing off. The clones are disobeying, and someone will be paying a price for it. And it's kind of interesting, because some clones are, just staying with the Empire. Crosshair did it in the show. He had an inhibitor chip removed, and he's staying with the Empire. It's his choice. So we can see the Empire slowly killing off the clones, because they realize that they're a threat. The individualized clones cannot stay, these blank slates forever, or mind controlled anymore. So what else supposed to do with them? How that's going to happen, like I said, the separatist occupations, I can see the clones, the Empire is going to force the clones to do those missions. So I think to kind of trick them into thinking that they're not, being betrayed, because as we've seen in the show, the clones don't like killing civilians. They were not programmed to kill civilians, they were programmed to kill battle droids and save planets. That's what the whole point of the Clone Wars is. It's clones versus battle droids. Palpatine created this war, so the whole purpose of clones will be to fight battle droids, the various versions of them. So when it goes to this moral question of killing a organic being, they seem to have a difficult time doing that, while stormtroopers don't. As in the third episode of The Bad Batch, we see the actual stormtroopers, or the recruits, as they're called, were able to do it. And even Tarkin was surprised by that. Like, why didn't the clones do it? You think the clones would be able to do that, but no. The organic humans were able to kill people, which is kind of messed up, but I guess that's how Palpatine plans working out. So, the clones are going to be phased out. There has to be some revolution from the clones at some point, and the Empire's going to mass, wipe them out. In that case, whether that be the Season 2 finale or just some events in the next couple of seasons of the show. Because I don't know how long the Bad Batch can go on for, so it's like, I think as the seasons go on, we're going to see more and more clone troopers questioning their opposition for the Empire, what they're doing. And that's why I think the Empire is going to, realize that and go, oh, we need to slowly kill them off. And they kind of are, doing it already. I mean, it's kind of weird because I think now in Season 2, we're going to be going to more of a transitional phase more now than ever. Who is to say that Stormtroopers are going to be the main threat like they always saw in the Empire, or like in Season 3, they're going to be all Stormtroopers, or is going to be some clones after Season 2? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because the show is kind of secretive on that. For the clones, I don't think a lot of them are going to survive because it's kind of difficult to take the inhibitor chips out of them, especially because I don't know if time goes on, is it harder to take them out rather than when it was activated? You know what I mean? Like, is it always there? Because in Clone Wars, it was shown that these inhibitors, these chips could rot. Like, they could be damaged and rot away. So I wonder, as time goes on, are the clones chips, like all of them, are their chips rotting? What do you guys think? Do you think the clones would be saved? Do you think they're going to be killed? Do you think my theory is still in effect? Because I don't think it is, because as I said in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, we see a clone trooper on the side of the road. So it kind of questions, what do they do? Do some of them escape? Do some of them get killed? I'm assuming the majority of them get killed. But could some of them run off and do whatever? Because what I'm saying is going to happen. Does the Empire have a hit list for clones? I mean, does that affect Boba Fett? I mean, there's so many questions that this Bad Batch kind of needs to explain, because I think that's the only show that can do it. Because I don't think any other show could do it. I think the Bad Batch is a show about clones, so it should explain what the hell happened to the clones. But only time could tell, because we have to wait for the rest of Season 2 to come out, and however many more seasons of the Bad Batch there are, whether there's Season 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 seasons of the Bad Batch, I don't know. But we'll find out what happens to the clones, hopefully this season. If not, next season most likely. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then hit the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna go now, so goodbye everyone.